This is LA's first.
Live from Los Angeles, welcome to the Dr. Erin Show. We're all about manifestation, transformation, and breakthroughs. It's time to claim your birthright of prosperity, vitality, and love. So grab your tea or coffee because together we're awakening the world. May you live your truth. I have a question for you. What is your spiritual gift? Are you clairvoyant? Are you psychic? Do you have the ability to channel? Or maybe you do mediumship or some other ability. I'd like to invite you to consider that your spiritual gift is none of those. Your true spiritual gift is you, all of you. Your dark, your light, your human beingness, your struggles, your triumphs, along with your supernatural, which is actually natural abilities. So today we're going to dive into the law of Dharma. We're on a 52 series. This is number 30 of a 52 series, knowing right here and right now the truth of who you are. So let's do this thing. Welcome to the Dr. Erin podcast. We come together each day to know the truth, live on spiritual principle, and align with universal law. We also come together as a community in Soul Society and New Thought Global. We truly believe that when somebody awakens, they have a gift and message to bring to the world. And together, we're awakening the world. So let's dive on into this today. The law of Dharma, number 30 of 52 series. The law of Dharma states that each person has a special gift, a unique purpose and message to bring to the world. You have a unique talent that no other individual in the world has. Through the intention of working for the highest good and out of service, this law unlocks the divine within. The entire cosmos has aligned for you to take on a physical form to fulfill this calling. There's a message and a gift within you that the world thirsts for. You're the only person in the entire universe with this divine purpose. Your divine purpose is your destiny. So it brings me to the story of Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant, as probably most of you guys know, or maybe not, because maybe you're not into basketball and like me, when Kobe Bryant passed away, I didn't really know who Kobe Bryant was, to tell you the honest truth. I knew he was a basketball player. But I was profoundly impacted by the world and their grieving and everything that people were saying about this man, Kobe Bryant. So I got curious, and I ended up watching a documentary on him called The Muse, and ended up watching some YouTube channels and really was touched by his life. Kobe Bryant was an extraordinary man. He grew up with a father that was a basketball player, and he began to really become obsessed with basketball. And he moved around all over the world, and he didn't have a lot of friends growing up, but he found solace in basketball, and he built a life, an extraordinary life based on his love. He ended up, of course, coming to Los Angeles, marrying his wife, having children, and he would go in and he said he would do something like an extra 1,000 shots a day beyond what was kind of normal standard training. He ended up, of course, becoming one of the best basketball players in history, and made championship and so on and so forth. Kobe Bryant, superpower may have been making shots, basketball shots. But what his real superpower and his Dharma was being an extraordinary human being. And I get chills as I say this. He taught us what it meant to be a king. He taught us what it meant to be somebody who stood for his teammates, his family, everything. He went through struggles just like every one of us, extraordinary struggles. But who he was in his Dharma, his chopping of wood every day in every single way, was being an extraordinary basketball player, father, husband, friend, community icon, you name it. That was his Dharma. And so I want you to consider that your superpower, your Dharma, if you will, is not what you think it may be. Kobe Bryant could have been an extraordinary award-winning medal winning basketball player. I can't even know what it was called. That's how bad I am at basketball, right? Like, he could have been the best of the best, and he clearly was, but it wouldn't have meant anything without his heart. It wouldn't have meant anything without who he was and the love that he put into his work. He could have been a jerk. He could have been just showed up and became the world champ, but didn't do anything with his heart around it, okay? And the point is that you can have an Uber driver that drives you, right? And jump into a taxi, an Uber driver, and an Uber car, and the driver can literally make you not like human beings. One Uber driver is doing the same task as the next Uber driver, and one Uber driver could make you begin to give up on the human race, right? And then the next Uber driver, this has happened to me. The next Uber driver, I'd gone through some Uber drivers. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never taking Uber again, and I really just am really concerned about the human race at large. And then the next Uber driver, I got into an Uber and connected with the driver, and the driver began to tell me his story of struggles, but also began to tell me about how he, would get his mind right and really stayed in a positive mood and really touched my life. That was his Dharma. So what is Dharma? And we want to recognize that your Dharma is what you do, right? Your Dharma is, what do? You're chopping wood. Kobe Bryant chopped wood. He went and shot shots. He showed up every day on that court fully 1,000% and became the best of the best. But what made him it be his Dharma was that he was working for the highest good. He was working at a service not only for himself, but for his team, for his community, and for all human beings to take a look at what it meant to be extraordinary. So my question for you is, what's your chopping wood? What is your chopping wood, quote, quote, right? What are you going to do every day that's having you become the expert that you truly want to be? And the real question is, how are you going to put your heart into it? How are you going to work for the highest good through chopping wood? Doesn't matter if you're a dishwasher or if you're a world-renowned public speaker. You still can touch and inspire and have it be working for the highest of the highest and truly find the divine presence within whatever you're doing. So as you guys know, there's a formula that I teach for birthing your purpose and calling, and it is your triumphs plus your passion plus your skill set. Okay, you can't have triumph without actually doing your work. Okay, so it's like Kobe Bryant showing up on the court and having him be pissed off in all areas of his life. And he talks about that, whatever is called the mumbo or whatever he calls it, something where he turns on and uses that power for the highest good. He turned on that frustration, that pissed offness, but he used it and directed that energy, right? So having triumph is, we do inner work, we do trauma work, we do all that to become to the triumph, to come to the triumph. The passion is getting clear of what your core values are and what really matters to you in this life. And birthing that purpose out of that. And then your skill set is understanding what you really are good at, right? You have a talent. You're talented at certain things. You're not so talented at other things. You can develop talents for sure. But what do you love to do? Are you an innovator? Are you an implementer? Are you a detail person? What kind of a type are you? What talents do you have, right? So again, it's your triumph plus your passion plus your skill set equals your purpose, right? So obviously with Kobe Bryant, his triumph was really over becoming an extraordinary human being. From somebody that was not connected to anybody, coming from being a child going around the whole world to being so connected in his community and in his team and in his family and everything. That was his triumph. That was his story. That's why we love his story so much, was what he came from and the trials that he had. His passion clearly was basketball, straight up basketball, and everything that it took to be a good basketball player, which included being a team member. And his skill set clearly was making shots, man. He made shots like no other made shots, right? So we want to recognize and know that your Dharma is not just some ability that you turn on and that you should give your, clairvoyance or whatever it is to the world, or your supernatural abilities or your spiritual gift, right? It's the whole story behind it. Your Dharma includes your story. It includes everything. So I want you to consider that your true spiritual gift is you. Your Dharma is you and all of you, your dark, your light, your human beingness, your struggles, your triumphs, along with your, supernatural or talents or whatever it is, abilities. Your true Dharma includes all of it. We want all of it. That's why we loved Kobe Bryant so much. So what is your talent? What is your message, and what is your purpose? Your Dharma is what you do every day. I'm going to state it one more time. Universal law states that each person has a special gift, a unique purpose, and a message to bring to the world. You have a unique talent that no other individual in the world has. Through the intention of working for the highest good and out of service, this law unlocks the divine within. The entire cosmos has aligned for you to take on a physical form to fulfill this calling. There's a message and a gift within you that the world thirsts for. You're the only person in the entire universe with this divine purpose. Your divine purpose is your destiny. So today, as you go into your day, recognizing what is your chopping of wood. What are you doing every day that's in service, that's for the highest good? And if that be showing up at the court at 5 a.m. to make that extra shots, or would that be going the extra mile to open the door for somebody that's walking into the grocery store that's, having issues or whatever? What is your talent? What is your chopping of wood that you're doing for the highest good? Every day I wake up and I know that getting truth out to the world is my chopping of wood. Maybe it's through a podcast. Maybe it's through, content I'm building for the back end. Maybe it's getting on social media. Maybe it's working with one person. Maybe it's whatever it is. Every day I'm chopping wood. Chopping wood to teach truth. That is my chopping wood. How do I do that in the highest service? How do I do it in an extraordinary way? I'm finding my heart in it. It's not easy sometimes, Managing hundreds of women can be hard sometimes, and some absolutely love me, and there's a couple that I know that don't hold me in the highest, and it's hard sometimes. It breaks my heart. And I know, and I have to know that I have to just keep chopping wood and keep finding my heart and keep doing what I can do for the highest good. And so I just want everyone to know that I'm human too, and I love each and every one of you like you have no idea. And I know that truth prevails. Truth prevails. And I know that you may not see it now, but I promise you will see it. I know, because I have had mentors that I thought, oh my gosh, they're not the nicest, or they don't say it in the nicest way. And I look back and I go, oh, they actually really, really love me. They love me so much, they were willing to call me out on stuff. They were willing to, not just be fluffy. And I appreciate that in myself, and I appreciate that in other teachers I've had, and I know that it is the chopping of wood. And so today I recognize you have a Dharma. You have something to deliver to this world, and chopping of wood and bringing your heart into it is where it all transcends. So I just say I'm so grateful for this day. I am so grateful for my Dharma. I am so grateful for my career. I absolutely feel like I hit the lottery 100 times over. And so I just say yes to you. Doing what you do in your Dharma, what do you do every day for the highest good? Okay? I love you guys very much, and may you live your truth. And so also, just on a side note, we are super excited with Insoul Site New Thought Global. We are developing more and more community along with our programs. And if you are somebody who has had a divine calling to develop your soul business online, we'd love for you to get involved. We're closed for leadership, but you can get on the wait list or join our next 5-day challenge. Also, if you've had a spiritual calling to be a spiritual coach or a spiritual practitioner, New Thought minister, or Doctor of Divinity, you can go to soulciety.com, or you can find me on Instagram or Facebook under Dr. Erin, DRERIN.TV. and have a beautiful day, and may you live your truth. Thank you for tuning in to Soulciety and Dr. Aaron podcast. If you've had a calling to be a spiritual leader or coach, you can go to soulciety.com and check out our free training. If you've received value here, I would love it if you take a moment and give a 5-star review. In exchange, I have a ton of free gifts for you. Grab your free awakening book, 40 guided meditations, and digital manifesting masterclass. I also have a free money meditation and worksheet for you so you can begin to break through your scarcity mindset and claim your birthright of prosperity. You can get all of your gifts and learn about our upcoming transformational events in my bio link in both Instagram and Facebook. That's under draaron.tv, which is DRERIN.tv. Also, I'd love to invite you into our free private community on Facebook under groups called Soulciety. That is facebook.com/groups/Soulciety. That's SOULCIETE. Have a divine day and may you live your truth.